And we're live. Welcome to Music Matters with Jason Tramm, and thank you so much for joining us for a unique podcast community where we explore the triumphs and challenges of the performing arts world as seen through the eyes of distinguished colleagues. And thank you so much for helping us grow. We just hit 1,918 subscribers, and we grow every day thanks to people like you. So please remember to subscribe and smash that bell icon for the most up-to-date information on our upcoming guests and topics. To see our past 250 or 286 episodes or so, make sure you go to our website at www.jasontram.net. That's Jason Tramm with two M's.net. We have a wonderful show for you today. We have the general and the artistic director, the dynamic duo of the Phoenicia International Festival of the Arts, of the Voice, excuse me, and they're so excited they're here. Welcome, Maria and Louis.
Happy to be with you.
Hey, hi Jason. Awesome to be here.
I just saw you guys recently, but it was so great to be back in Phoenicia again. Maria, again, can you describe to us what makes Phoenicia such a special place?
With great pleasure. It's just you have to come and sit by yourself. But it's like 2 hours and a half away from New York City. It's the setting, the mountains, the reservoir, the water, the green, everything is so the escape from New York City. When you come from New York and you come to our mountain, it's kind of a complete like vacation at 2 hours only. The Hudson Valley in general is beautiful, but our little niche is special. We have so many artists here. It really is an art colony with Woodstock nearby, the mecca of rock and roll, and so many wonderful also other art organization. Carrymore is not that far. Glimmerglass is just a little bit above. You have Bard. You have, there's really wonderful. Bethel is the big performing arts center in Bethel is just right there. We have lovely theaters. So this is being a little bit. We call ourselves the Opera Belt with Carrymore, Phoenicia, and Glimmerglass. It's worth a drive. You take your car, you take a bus, you come see us, and then you enter this kind of complete escape and getaway in just 2 hours. So it's very special. The community is special. Our restaurants are special. There's a lot of agro farming in the area. There's a spirit of sustainability and respect for nature. So it is a very quaint, beautiful there's the quaintness, the Americana in the most noble terms. And we have in Phoenicia, we have a theater, we have a beautiful playhouse. We have 3 churches where a lot of concerts have happened, and for 13 years now, there is this festival that features not just opera because we're about the voice, but we're opera in nature. It's like a whole experience. You come, you
Yeah,
bring
the
your picnic,
idea
your
of
glass of wine.
an outdoor performance venue is such a cool experience, and it's a very European concept. I
It
just
really
love doing
is.
outdoor concerts.
Yeah, it is beautiful. The field on which we do this is surrounded by mountains. And it's really this listening to this lavish music under the stars. And the grass is actually, it's thyme. So you even have, the good smell, the senses are all awakened in our field. It's an experience. We say usually, we sell tickets for exquisite, and Louis will talk about the quality of the artists and the companies that are joining us, but we sell tickets for exquisite performances, but really what we're selling it's an experience. You come and you have your feet, you can take your shoes off and you can do this, with your little toes on the grass and feel the time, and it's you have your glass of wine in your hand, your picnic, you're with family, and you can lay down in your blanket and just let. And now you have those jumbotrons, the massive jumbotrons on which you can see the face of the artist, like all the expressions so vividly with the super titles. So it it's a mix of nature, heritage presentation plus high technology all combined. It's quite something. It's worth
Amazing.
a two hour
It's
and a half from the city,
it's a little bit Tanglewood, a little bit Glyndebourne, and it has its own special flavor.
So
right?
whose idea was when you looked at when I first looked at the field, I'm like looking at this field, which is just a lovely field with a mountain in the background, gorgeous view. But whose idea was it to say we're going to do major productions here? Whose idea was that?
Well, it was the local moms because they knocked at our doors and they asked us if we would do a fundraiser to raise money for the local playground equipment. And that was like 14 years ago when and because we were artists in town, we just say, of course, we want to do something for the community. And we were not very sure that people here locally would be interested to listen to opera, but 800 people showed up and it was raining and we were like, what? So the experience was amazing. Everybody chipped in. This is why in this village of 300 people, we have 189 volunteers. It takes a village for us, takes this whole dimension. And so we have those moms. They ask us, and we put that concert together, and we create a choir, to have them sing with us. And then there was the moms cooked, and it was there was a mix of excellence, artistic excellence, because we had friends coming and participating to this concert, with this kind of very rural but beautiful community spirit in it. So this gave the tone, I think. This is the tone that we kept for the rest of the festival. And it was such an amazing experience that people came to us and said, hey, would you do it again? And I
So
was like,
we're here
yeah.
we're here on the call with Maria Todaro and with Louis Otey, and both of whom, in addition to their work with the Phoenicia Festival, are both internationally acclaimed artists. Louis, tell us a bit about your background as an artist.
I started out at what was then Memphis State University, and then spent 2 years in the Houston Grand Opera Young Artist Program, and then moved to New York and started singing around a little bit. And I had a career both at New York City Opera and the Met, and it took me places I never thought I'd go. I came from humble beginnings in a very small farming town in South Dakota, and for me, New York was this amazing dream. And I've been to 5 continents now, and Maria and I met in Brazil, singing together in a production in Brazil some years ago. So it's been an amazing career, and I've rubbed shoulders with some great people, Joan Sutherland and Luciano Pavarotti and Placido Domingo and Grace Bumbry, and just all kinds of amazing people. So it was something that I couldn't even dream, if I can put it that way. It just unfolded in such a great way, and I thank God for that. It's something that kind of happened to me, which I'm very grateful for. And I get to meet people like you, Jason.
I love how the music world, when you start, you have no idea where it's going to take you. It just kind of does that. And did you have any idea that you would be starting a festival and doing something as crazy as this?
No, when we moved here, that was never we moved to Phoenicia like a lot of people, because it's such a beautiful getaway from the city. And as she said, with the green and the mountains and the hiking and the Esopus Creek running through it and all of that, it was an escape. And then we started to meet the people and get involved. And there's such lovely people here. And, I had done the Met in the parks. And when we saw this park, this expanse of green, and what Central Park doesn't have is a mountain on one side. And it just seemed to be a beautiful setting. And after we did the initial fundraising event, and people kept asking us when we were going to do it again, we thought, well, maybe it's time to start a festival and, start bringing wonderful singers. And, so we built a stage, and that was the beginning of it 13 years ago.
Amazing.
Louis, Louis had the experience of the park, the Central Boston Park, and I had the absolute admiration for Spoleto Festival, which is multi-venue. So we combine a little bit the two, and use pretty much everything we can use in town. There's 7 fantastic venues here, Playhouse, as I said earlier, and all that stuff. And so there was the combo of the spirit of a little bit of Spoleto in Charleston and Central Park in the park.
Can't beat that combination. And then taking what you have uniquely up there with this gorgeous scenery. So Maria, your accent doesn't sound like a New York accent. Tell us about your accent.
I am so from Phoenicia. I'm a native. I'm French.
A native Phoenician.
I'm a native. Yeah, no, I'll be stoned in the street for that. No, I am French. But not anymore. In 2020, I became a proud citizen from America. So I am not a citizen, but I come from France. That's where I was born, in Paris.
And you're a mezzo soprano, and now you've been directing all over this last couple of years. Everywhere I see your name, you're directing all over the country, which is very exciting.
It's interesting when you were an opera singer, you kind of hide your past. When you try to be a stage director, it's kind of that, oh no, she was a singer. So I don't speak much about my career as a mezzo, that's true, but it's true. I started like this. And both of my parents being singers, I had to be a singer. That was like a
It
virus.
was in the blood.
That's right. And then the stage directing is really my career and what I do. Yes, indeed. A great
So
job.
you two are uniquely poised to start something like this and to sustain something like this, and I mean, because last year was my first year being involved with the festival, and I got to experience it firsthand. What an incredible warmth you set up with all the volunteers and the infrastructure and all the people. It takes so many people to make something like that this big work.
It definitely does. And I have the great, you know, we have been called, as I said maybe earlier, uh, an opera for the people and of the people. But there's this really an operation that is community and volunteer based. And I know that in the arts, most organizations are, but we have the person that enter our organization enter really our family, and everyone that is here is someone that I know intimately. I know their story. I know where they come from. I know what they want, and we work like this. This is the style, and it's been a on a human level, it's an incredible experience.
And it's so special for the artists. I mean, I knew a lot of the artists from last year, I know a lot of the artists from this year, and we know each other from so many different places. But everyone is so excited to come there because you really create a family atmosphere. Tell us about some of the artists who performed at the festival, who we can see at the great opera houses of the world and with symphonies all over the planet. So, who are some of the artists that you want to tell us about?
Oh gosh, probably the first major person that we had. The first major person that we had is Barry Banks, who actually that he and his wife had bought a house not too far from here. So that was probably the first. He and Morris Robinson.
And Elizabeth Futral, who opened our festival.
Who's that?
Elizabeth Futral.
Oh, yeah, Elizabeth
Elizabeth.
Futrell. Yes, indeed. Gosh, and Stephen White, her
She
husband,
opened, yeah, Stephen White,
several things
Elizabeth
for
opened
us.
our festival, yeah.
Yes.
And
Probably the major person right now would be Lucas Meacham, who's doing a very, very fine career around the world. John Osborne, who's a very good friend, and he's everywhere in the world as well.
Rosalind
Uh,
Elias.
huh?
We got a Rosalind Elias. We got, yeah.
Ron Rains, Susan Powell, Richard White, the original guest voice of Gaston
And
in the
that's the thing. It's not just opera with the Festival of the Voice. So it has been all genres that we had, like, people like Joseph Firecrow, who won Grammy Award, but he's a Native American, singer. We had Inuit singers that are great celebrities in their own culture, and we have had because there's the world music, there's the jazz, like Damien Sneed performed at the festival, right, Louis?
yes,
And people like that, in like superstars in their Paul Green and the Rock Academy, superstars in their industry. So we've had the son of Rex
Jack DeJohnette,
Harrison,
the drummer,
Jack DeJohnette, and the son of Rex Harrison, Kerry
Carrie Harrison.
Harrison,
Oh,
who's been doing some incredible, Horatio. He's been talking, reenacting like big, big, big speeches of Churchill, at the end of the war and all that stuff. It's not just opera. This year it is, and I'll let Louis speak about our collaboration, but we have had superstars in very different industries.
I love the fact that in the past you've really delved into the other genres. It's really fascinating. I bet you bring a lot of people who've never been to an opera to opera, and I bet you bring in and like that cross pollination. I find is very exciting.
It is
That's
exciting because
yeah.
opera is a genre that needs to be discovered by everybody. It is the world's greatest art form and the world's greatest form of entertainment. It has everything. It has everything that you could possibly want. I don't. People are intimidated by it or think it's highfalutin or not for them somehow. But our whole one of our whole points was because when we originally did the original concert, so many parents said our kids sat still and listened to opera. You've got to do it again. And I think that when people get introduced to it, they become they become fans by and large. And so it's an incredible art form, and one that deserves to be discovered. But it hasn't happened often, but we turned out to be a little bit of a star maker in a sense. One year, my brother-in-law had collaborated on a film in a country that features throat singing as part of its culture, and I can't remember the name. It's a major country.
Was it Mongolia?
Huh?
No,
Mongolia?
Mongolian. Yes,
Yeah.
I think maybe it was Mongolia.
The tuba
Yes,
and throat singing
Rob
is
was
amazing
clarifying.
stuff.
So anyway, he gave me the names of.
Yeah.
They did a documentary, and they used some of the throat singers, and he gave me their names, and a couple of them lived in this country, and I started calling them. And what happens is that a lot of times, well, they're not here illegally, or their visas run out, and all this kind of stuff. So I had advertised a throat singer, and I had no throat singer, and we were about 6 weeks before the festival. So I started calling around, and I found there was a manager in Los Angeles who managed Tongan throat singers. And so
Wow.
I said, is this one available? No, he's in Asia the rest of the summer. Is this one available? No, he's in Africa all summer. No, nobody's available. And this guy says, but do you know Robert McLaughlin? And I went, no. And I figured there was some guy that, he's probably 50 or 60 years old that had gone to Tonga or whatever, or
Tuvia.
Tuva. And so he gave me this guy's number. So I called the number, and this lady answers, and I said, can I speak with Robert McLaughlin? And she said, well, he's in his room doing his homework. I said, well, can I speak to him? And this kid turned out to be 14 years old, had taught himself throat singing, and he was phenomenal. And he got his start here at the festival, and he ended up being on Nickelodeon. He now makes his own costumes and instruments, performs all over the world. And so we feel like, we gave him the push and the platform to really make something out of what he did. So we're very proud of him and very proud of that.
Well, you two are some of the most supportive people. I can tell by watching the volunteers and some of the local people who are in the choruses and who just, they speak so highly of both of you and how encouraging you are. So this year's festival is going to be a very special one. You've got two outside organizations that are collaborating with, that are producing with you, and you're producing a very large concert. So tell us about this year, what makes this season special.
I spoke the longest the last time.
No, but you're the artistic director. You go. It's your time.
No, but it's easy to speak about these two fine companies. Teatro Grattacielo and New York City Opera will be joining us again. They came last year because we were at the end of COVID last year, and we didn't feel, we couldn't afford people. We have great people that provide housing.
Well, and the thing is that we had, forgive me for interrupted, but we had this amazing stage, and we could only do one show for ourselves. We would not have done another, and so that was a shame. Well, everything was closed till in April last year. Everything was closed in New York City. That would have been a shame not to invite our friends from New York City to just use the stage and perform and give work to artists. That was the game. So we said, come, take the proceeds. We're not going to charge, and just use the stage. And they did. So Louis, I just wanted to interject.
Yeah, that was kind of the impetus of that, and the fact of the lack of housing right now, because we depend on homestays here in Phoenicia, and everybody that comes here that stays in a home, they end up staying in touch with their hosts, and so it's all good here. It's not like
Our
people
hosts
love
are
it.
amazing.
Huh?
Our hosts are just amazing people.
Yeah, they are.
Just amazing.
So City Opera and Teatro Grattacielo came last year, and they enjoyed it, and our audiences enjoyed it, and we invited them to come back again, and it's a great collaboration. Grattacielo is bringing an amazing new production of Don Giovanni, which I'm very excited to see.
This will be the American premiere of that production, which is very exciting. I think it was done in London and maybe in Greece or something like that.
In Greece.
That's right. And very successfully. They usually sold out their show. It's very successful.
Pictures are gorgeous. I know. A lot of people are coming to see it from my neck of the woods, because after the fact we're going to do it in February in New Jersey. So people are really excited to see it.
I love that, and it's such an amazing original production that Stefanos Koroneos has put together. Yes, it's going to be an incredible Don Giovanni. Very, very special.
Can't
Sorry.
wait to see it. And New York City Opera is returning, and what are they doing this year?
They're bringing a really fine heritage piece, so it'll be much more, can I say, traditional in terms of the sets and decor and all of that. But they are bringing, three of the finest singers in the world. Michael Chioldi singing Germont, who just went on in Rigoletto at the Metropolitan Opera this past year, and now will have his own series of productions of performances of Rigoletto at the Met. And Charles Castronovo and his wife. I got to look up her name again.
Ekaterina, but forgive me, she's a superstar.
Yeah, she
We're
is.
blanking. We're completely blanking stupidly, but it's Ekaterina. I'm so sorry. We should yeah.
It's a star-studded production. It's gonna be exciting.
Yeah, that's like how we are. But she's a superstar. We both being stupid here.
But these are three singers who sing all over the world and are if you were to hear them at the Met or La Scala or Paris Opera or Vienna Staatsoper, you'd be paying $200 a ticket to hear these incredible singers.
And it's Ekaterina Surina, of course. Surina,
yes.
Of course.
Very exciting. It's going to be gorgeous. And how about the Sunday concert? This is something new and different. So what's that concert on Sunday? That
this is going to be so much fun. So much fun. Super family friendly. Louis, go ahead, because you worked so hard on this one.
It's really exciting. A lot of us have grown up with opera and we don't know it. Opera has been used in a number of films. I mean, the very first thing that I ever, I was a kid, I watched a TV show called The Lone Ranger. And The Lone Ranger, the beginning and the end is actually an opera overture from Rossini's William Tell, which I didn't find out till much later. And so that's very cool. And opera played was a very strong element in films like Pretty Woman, Philadelphia, the Tom Hanks movie, Fatal Attraction. Madame Butterfly played quite heavily in that and was a sort of a parallel in the story and everything. And there are a lot of other ones. There's a comedic one, Mr. Bean's Holiday, where he mimes O Mio Bambino Caro, which is great. A Room with a View that has another Puccini aria in it.
And you have like Bugs Bunny and all those things, right?
Yeah, we have Bugs Bunny too, the classic Bugs Bunny, the Largo a Factotum. But even in movies like
The Rabbit of Seville.
Yeah, The Rabbit of Seville. Yeah, The Bunny of Seville. Exactly.
Yeah.
A Disney movie called The Mighty Ducks used a beautiful Verdi chorus in it. Also, The Color of Money with Tom Cruise and Paul Newman has also another Verdi chorus in it, which is Va Pensiero, which people will recognize immediately. And what is one of the other ones here?
You got The Godfather, you got The Untouchable.
Yes,
got all
The
those.
Untouchables.
I mean, it's everywhere. It's really hard to make a whole
Mission
list.
Impossible. There's a whole scene at the opera in Mission Impossible.
It's
So
like nuts.
What is it about pop culture and opera? Opera kind of leaking into pop culture. I think that pop culture borrows from the arts, so the high arts, so easily. And I think when people dig a little bit, they're going to really love where it comes from.
Yep.
It's very intertwined. So we're basically rendering an homage and advocating a little bit for opera by presenting, opera in movies and commingling, because we have those massive jumbotrons and we have an amazing video team with James Sapion, who's an HD director at Lincoln Center. He does the, live feed, so it's happening and it's on the screen right away. So
describe this if someone hasn't been there before. So you have two jumbotrons. How big are those jumbotrons? I remember they were massive.
They're 20 by 40, yeah.
20 by 40. If you've never been there, you have to see this.
Yes, it's amazing. You have the stage in the middle, and then you see the faces of the artist, and James is an artist himself, so he really knows what angle to shoot, live. Those feeds are live. So you really, it brings the audience into, or the opera, or in that case, the show that we're presenting, the gala we're presenting. But the gala itself will be intertwined. We're intertwining movie scenes and live, our artists, and Louis will talk about the artists. They're amazing.
We've had
But this
several
is
artists who've
also,
been on the show. I know for sure. I know at least two of them
yeah.
have been on the show before, which is
And
actually
your fabulous chorus is gonna be part of it too, and we're
a lot of
excited.
fun. We had our first rehearsal with the chorus last night. It's comprised of mixture of people from Phoenicia in the area, and we were so excited about it. And I love working with new people, and was so excited to meet everyone last night.
No, they love you. They were like ecstatic yesterday. It's a lot of joy having people singing. But this is really a family friendly show that completely debunk the snobism of opera and make it more popular. It's a show that is in collaboration with the Woodstock Film Festival. So Myra Blaunstein, the president of the Woodstock Film Festival, will be speaking on stage with prestigious guests that support this, like Senator Morrison. She will be with us too. You know, I mean, but Myra will be hosting, greeting the audience, and she's all about the movies, we're all about the opera, so that was a no-brainer.
What a
Yeah,
wonderful marriage of two interesting art forms, and I
absolutely.
think people are going to really enjoy it.
It's a good one. And Louis, tell about the artists because they're fabulous.
Who are some of the soloists, Louis?
The soloists are there are four soloists. Tau Pupua is the tenor. We have a dramatic soprano named Kristen Sampson, and a lovely Asian singer named Yulam Piao, who's a beautiful lyric soprano, and another young woman who's a student of mine actually, whose name is Liana Grafanino. A very talented person who studied at Juilliard and then decided to do something else with her life, but still a very, very fine singer. And I mean, Kristen sings all over the place, sings dramatic roles all over the place, which is a dramatic soprano is one that sings a lot of operas that have lots of brass and they need a lot of voice to sing over the orchestra. A lyric soprano like Yulan Piao has a more lyric, beautiful, softer sound. And then Tao Pupu is an interesting singer because he's a former NFL football player. The man is 6'5", and I think he still weighs about 240, and is, you know,
Beautiful.
he's a
He's a
beautiful
beautiful
man.
artist, a
He's
beautiful
a beautiful
man.
guy, a beautiful person, and a beautiful man. And
And we have Matthew Gamble.
true.
Oh,
Sorry,
Our
I forgot about Matthew. Yes, that's right. He's singing the Barber of Seville, so the Bunny of Seville.
And Matthew is also has joined our board. We love that Matthew has joined the board for many reasons. But he's not only someone that has been very supportive to the festival. He's representing the new generation of future stars. I mean, he's like, he's very involved in social justice. He has studied governmental relationship with non-for-profit. So he's not only an amazing opera singer that's starting an amazing career, but he's also having this other interest of making a difference and making art relevant. So we're very, very blessed that he joined our board. We're very happy about that. And he's an amazing talent to
He was
hear
on
yeah,
him.
Silvio last year.
wonderful
He actually started
person,
as a young
wonderful
artist here.
singer.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. We're very excited. It's going to be a lot of this concert is going to be a lot of fun, but every single show this year is a knockout. You know, the Don
And
Giovanni, the Traviata,
Maestro
our
David Rowe
galas.
will be conducting the concert on Sunday, the big musical
Yeah,
movies
yeah, yeah, yeah.
concert.
David Rowe, there's going to be about 100 people on stage, Jason. It's like a huge thing. It's not just we put a few little, you know, excerpts on the screen. No, no, this is big. This is the chorus will be in gowns and tuxedo. It's like the whole Hollywood spirit in there, and so it's gonna be festive. And we need to laugh, to smile, to we need. I mean, the world is like, I mean,
Many challenges face us.
yeah, we
Thankfully,
need
we have the arts to give us a chance to find our
exactly,
humanity.
exactly. So we hope this is gonna bring a lot of healing and beauty.
Well, so exciting, and I'm sure you guys are working around the clock to put this together.
And we
When do
have
you start the festival? When do you start planning a festival, or is it like the week after the
huh,
festival wraps?
the week. You mean during the next day? We're late for like in 2 years. It's like it's a constant focus now. It is that's a little bit what I was trying to advocate during COVID and certain people. You know, I preach to the choir obviously and to the people that are listening to us right now. They know because they're listening to us. But the truth is that because we evolve in the entertainment industry, people often forget that it is our job, our profession. We pay our bills. We feed our families with it. It's like when you go to a golf course and you play, and we forget because you're having a good time and you're playing golf, you forget that there's like the whole staff that's working. They're not having fun. They're not playing golf. They're not outdoors. They're in the office. They're working, and that we can enjoy golf. And it's kind of the same with the industry. While we hope our audience will have the bestest ever experience, and we thrive and we fight so hard to, this is why we fight for, is to give the people that come to us having an extraordinary experience, and like a doctor, you want to heal your patient. We want to heal the audience. We want them to get out of there with a smile and being uplifted. But that does not mean that we always experience the entertainment part ourselves. It's a lot of work. So I'm glad you're asking how long it takes, because it takes a lot of devotion to something like this. People don't always
Passion, devotion, and then a lot of talent. The two of
sacrifice it.
you two have this unique combination of being a married couple who's got these incredible skill sets, and I think uniquely qualified to run something of this size and magnitude.
We have a lot of wonderful people in our team. It's you
Including
see
you.
the general, you see the general director and the artistic director here, but it takes a village, really, and we have incredible co-founders and board, and and volunteer. The staff members here are just thank you for the credit, and you part of our team now. We're excited we have you, and we love having you with us.
It's a blessing
You
to
have
make
the
music with
spirit.
great people, and especially it's such a beautiful place and with beautiful people, and it's that's why we do music, is because the people we meet. I mean,
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
There's no other. Yes,
and
absolutely.
and the possibilities that it presents. I mean, we spoke last night. You're doing in the Heights now with your company in New Jersey.
I've taken
And,
2 days away from Washington Heights. Now today was back full into Washington Heights.
yeah, yeah,
Amazing.
and
That's so
and
cool.
to be able to talk about possibly collaborating with you for next year to bring
We'll hope.
planning to do next year.
Well, it's
Oh,
it's so
there's-
exciting to just see what happens, and
Absolutely.
artistic collaboration is always exciting to explore, and it's there's so much that can be done, and I can't wait to just can see how where the festival goes and what it looks like, and this year is
Indeed.
going to be, I think, a complete success.
Well, we hope so. We believe so. It's beautiful. People need it, and we hear, and we're working hard, and everything is falling into places. It's very
Where
good.
can people go to find out more about the festival, and most important, where can they go to buy tickets?
All right, so very easy, phoeniciavoicefest.org, phoeniciavoicefest.org. It's a mouthful, PHOENICIA, it's Phoenicia, it's a mouthful, but everything is super self-explanatory there. You can buy the ticket through our website. You can go to Eventbrite, but the website is really the greatest tool. It's very, very easy, very easy. If you have any problem, we have a hotline for you, so we'll take care of you. Very, very simple to buy tickets. You have passes, all kinds of stuff. It's free for the kids. And the tickets range, for listening to those artists that will come, that you would only be able to listen to them for $250 at the Met. You pay a $40 ticket for us, so it's worth it. Part of our philosophy. It's part of the philosophy of accessibility.
And the beauty of the natural environment, and it's really something, you have to see it to believe it. You have to be there to feel the presence of where it is and how special it is. And I hope hope everyone takes a look and comes and joins, and you'll be happy you did.
It's worth the experience. It's worth visiting our, if you have a concert at night, come in the morning and visit our region. It's exquisite. The restaurants are fabulous. The region is like, you're going to have a puff of air. It's healing. It's really, if you're coming for us, don't just come for us. Come the whole day and stay and see what this region is about. It's really, if you've never been here, it's really worth it. And healing, and yes.
Bring your champagne, your candelabra, and your blanket, and spread yourself on the beautiful lawn. And
If you don't have it, we have it for you. We got you covered. There's a liquor store in town, and there's also we have a Gab's Vegetables. There's like a wonderful vendor on the spot that has this exquisite with local products table, and even the coffee is grown here. I was told. I didn't know we had coffee in the region.
Really?
And her specialty is to work with the farms and to work with the people. So everything is grown locally, and taste it. It's just from the farm to table, and we have her as a vendor in our place. So we're very excited about her cuisine in our field.
Well, thank you both for being on Music Matters today, and I can't wait to watch this come together. And I think the audience is in for an incredible treat on all 3 nights, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, with Don Giovanni, and then Traviata, and then the Music and the Movies concert in 3 successive nights. So get tickets for all 3, and I hope everyone gives it a shot. It's going to be an amazing night.
Thank you, Jason. Good night. We're waiting for you.
I hope you both get some sleep and some rest as we get ready for this festival. A couple weeks away. So thank you so much, and I wish you both a wonderful, wonderful festival.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you.
See you soon. Bye-bye.
All the best. Thank you for joining us on Music Matters with Jason Tramm. Please remember to subscribe and smash that bell icon. And thank you so much for joining us today. Remember, keep music alive.